I'm going to answer a question that I get asked quite a lot, and that is, how do I work on my rolling skills at home, particularly when you're by yourself? Well, I think given the climate, it's an appropriate question to answer. There are many ways in which we can do this. I like to use several methods. One of those is using a slip line, and that's any piece of material that you have lying around your home that you can pin between two walls, anywhere in your home that you deem appropriate. You can adjust the height to suit what kind of rolls you want, whether you want to go deep or shallow. You can even put the slip line at an angle if you so desire, so you can work at different roll heights, but that's personal preference. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the hard roll. We're going to start off with the hard roll first. Now, my students will recognise that when I talk about rolling, I talk about a hard roll and an easy roll. Now, the difference between the two is this: is a hard roll warrants that it really comes down to the counter punches punch in relation to my attacking punch. Okay, what they give me determines how I roll in a lot of instances. So, assuming that the punches they give me warrants a roll in the first place. Okay, we're going to assume that is the case. So, with that assumption, we know that a hard roll is basically, in this instance, we're going to use a left hook as our baseline here. Everything that I talk about is coming off the left hook just for ease of learning. So when we go left hook, my counter punching opponent is throwing his left hook. Essentially, his left hook is coming around this side, and we're going in opposite directions. Okay, in opposite directions here. So this causes problems for us here when we're looking to roll underneath it. Because we're moving in the same direction, it's difficult to roll because I'm committed to this punch. So what I have to do is I have to take a split second to wind. Now this is all happening in lightning fast speed in real time. Okay, so I'm breaking this down slowly for you, and this technically is a long way around, there's no doubt about it, but once you're well drilled at this, it'll become like second nature, and you'll do it in no time. So, and this is what I get my students to do. So we're moving this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck myself back into myself. I'm going to move away from the direction of the punch. Boom, which is one of my criteria for the roll. I'm moving away from the direction of the punch. Okay, I'm gonna keep my hands up. Like, it's very important that this left hand comes back here, comes back to my chin, or comes back to my face. The higher the better, really. So we're here like this. So my right leg is going to step underneath, and I'm going to roll. You'll notice that my left shoulder is tucked back right now. That's fine. So I'm going to roll underneath. I'm going to step with my right leg, roll, and I'm going to place my left foot on the floor appropriately. I don't punch until my left foot is securely fastened to the floor. For this instant, bang, then I can counter punch with my right hand. Now, a couple of things. The reason why I'm getting you to roll with a step today is because I want you to get used to rolling to cutting angles. We're doing this in a straight line, but I really want you to get used to cutting angles when you roll. So we're going to put this in a double jab, right cross left hook context. So we're going to go here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to tuck myself back. Remember, the left hook's coming here. I'm going to roll underneath it and step. Now, I can roll underneath it and cut an angle, and that's exactly what I want you to start doing. Okay, but just for ease of learning, we're just going to go in a straight line. But I can roll and cut an angle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Roll and cut an angle here. Bang. Right, like that, flanking. That's why I like to step and roll at the same time. There's a time and place for staying in one position and rolling, for sure. But for now, I just want you to start concentrating on rolling and stepping at the same time. It is a little harder to do, and there's more moving parts, but the dividends pay off tenfold in the future. Okay, particularly if you can outflank somebody. So we're here like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tuck back in, step, and roll. I don't throw my punch until my feet are in the right position. This is a golden rule. I don't want to do anything until my feet are in the correct position. Bang, now I'm ready to go. My hands are up. Okay, so we had a look at the hard roll before and what that entails. Now we're going to have a look at the easy roll. The easy roll is quite interesting because unlike the hard roll, we're actually moving in the same direction as our counter punches punch. And this is what makes it, I wouldn't say easy, but this is why it's aptly named the easy roll, is because it's a little easier for us to get under because our punches are moving essentially in the same direction, so it's easier for me to wind underneath it. Hence the name. So if I'm throwing off the left hook, and this is the baseline for our techniques in this series, is coming off the left hook, just for ease of learning, is from here, our opponent is throwing a counter punch of a right hook this time. So instead of doing like with the hard roll left hook to left hook, it's left hook to right hook. So his punch is coming from his right into my left. Okay, so when we're rolling underneath it, it's warranted right hook to left hook, and our punches are moving in a similar direction. Okay, this is what makes it easier for me to kind of slip underneath it or roll underneath it. So coming from the slip line with our left hook here. So we know our opponent is throwing his right hook in a similar direction to our left hook. This here, this same direction, gives me the opportunity to keep moving away from the punch as I roll underneath it. Remembering, I'm bringing my hands back. I'm bringing my hands back to my face. So I'm here, and I roll and I step this time. This time my left shoulder's back. I get my feet in the appropriate position before I throw my counter punch. Okay, this is very important. Bang, and I can throw my punch. So my left leg moves first in this instance. Remembering that we use our slip line also to tell us what punch we're going to, or what side, in this instance, what side we're going to be counter punching with. And it's going to be our left hand side because the slip line is on our left hand side. So from the double jab right cross left hook context, 1, 2, 3, 4. I tuck back, I roll and step, I keep my left shoulder back. Now, the whole while I'm looking at my opponent, I'm not looking at you guys, so I'm just doing that for ease of learning. But the whole time I'm looking at my opponent. From here, my weight is on my front foot because I'm throwing a left hook, so I warrant that my front foot has a disproportionate amount of weight to my back foot. So bang, boom, then I counter with my left hook. Okay. Once I've finished, bang, I throw my left hook. I'm in the perfect position here now to do whatever I need to do, whether I need to sprawl, get away, do other things, strike again, what have you. So it's very, very important that we get our feet in the right spot. Our left foot moves first when we roll underneath it. Remembering that we're moving in a similar direction to the punch. Boom, and I tuck my shoulder back, bang, I drive that left hook in.